Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have Skechers boots for review yet again. Yes, and these are their hiking boots called Skechers, the most patriotic name that you can come up with. USA! Yes, the best name ever. How can you go wrong with a name like that? Skechers USA. Wow. The only thing the only thing that I can think of here right now is that Skechers, they really set their bar very, very high. So I'm gonna be very demanding of this boot. It better be freaking good with that kind of name. So, as some of you already know, this is not just a regular boot review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boots section. Yeah, so if this wasn't just your regular hiking boot, but you put it on, or maybe you had it in the house and something bad happened, and now you had to survive, you had to walk for miles, you had to fight on the way, you had to climb, you had to sleep in these boots because you don't want to take them off because you're scared. You might have to get up quick in the middle of the night and run. So yeah, alright, use your imagination. Would these be good to survive in? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let the review begin. Criteria number 1, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do 3-mile run non-stop, and then a 5-mile walk right after, non-stop, no pauses in between, and then I continue wearing the boots or shoes for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. And overall, I have to say I am pretty impressed with the comfort level of these boots. These are actually pretty good. Let's start with the very first factor that either takes away or contributes to the comfort level is the weight, and this is size 10. Let's see exactly how light or heavy size 10 is. 20.3. Okay, I have to say, for the size of this boot, for how thick the outsole is, waterproof, I expected this to be way heavier than that. 20.3 is actually not that bad. Now, to give you reference numbers, if you're looking for a lightweight boot, you're looking for something under 20 ounce. When it gets over 20 ounce, it gets heavier. So the more over 20 ounce, the heavier it is. The lighter than 20 ounce, the lighter it feels. This, as you can see, is kind of perfectly balanced. So it's 20.3, so it's right there. So Skechers did a really, really good job there with the weight. Let's move on into the inner sole now. That's another thing that contributes and takes away from the comfort level. Here, I have to say, whenever it comes to Skechers, it definitely contributes more than it takes away, and looks like the inner sole is actually glued inside of the boot, so you cannot take it out, unfortunately, but I'll try my best to show it. I mean, it doesn't look anything special. It does have decent heel bed, it does have decent arch support, but what is so special about this inner sole is that it is air-cooled memory foam, waterproof inner sole. Now, that's not something regular that you come around on a regular basis in the boots. This is very, very unique, and you definitely do feel, I mean, the cushioning is phenomenal. This is like the best inner sole I've ever seen in my life. It's really, really nice. If you prefer those very nice, very soft, cushiony inner soles like I do, you're gonna freaking appreciate this a lot. This is probably one of the best inner soles that I have seen on this channel. Great job from Skechers. Great job. Now, the padding is another thing that contributes to the comfort level. Is very good as well. As you can see, the tongue is nicely padded. The shaft is nicely padded. Throughout the whole boot, you have a lining of padding, except the very, very front right here, which is typical to most of the boots. You don't have anything here. That's why it's important to get in the right size. But overall, comfort level, very, very impressive. Let's move on to the criteria number 2 now, proofing and protection. Now, proofing wise, these are waterproof. As you can see, there is gusseting of the tongue here. That's probably one of my, not many, but one of them complaints is that they only used about 5 inches of waterproofing with the gusseting here, and the lowest part of the shaft it's about 5 inches. I think they could have done a little bit more if there wasn't that of a heavy cut out of the shaft, because the shaft itself is almost 7 inches. So they could have done a little bit of more waterproofing clearance. Not a big deal, but just, why not? Now, protection wise, you do have this very tough rubber going around the whole boot, which is very nice. I mean, they did not sacrifice at all on the protection. Very good. The toe is fairly tough. Don't drop anything heavy, obviously, on the toe, but on the rocky road, somewhere in the mountains, this is going to serve you very good. Of course, you do have all this padding for the protection in the ankles. The heel is reinforced as well, and of course, this bulky, very, very tough rubber outsole provides you protection there as well. So let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, Skechers, I mean, they've been around for a while now. They had a few flukes here and there with some stupid advertisements that promised things that did not deliver, let's just say that. But people do trust this brand, and I mean, you can the link is in the description below for Amazon. You can see how many reviews are there now, and they're almost 5 stars. And it's not just these boots. You can check other boots from Skechers, and they have really, really positive ratings as well. So people do like them. People do trust the brand overall. Now, whenever it comes to the lacing system, it's very good here, actually. It's my favorite, thicker, round strings. They slide through these closed hooks, 4 pairs of closed hooks very easily, and then there are 3 pairs of metal hooks, one of them being closed hooks, movable, and 2 of them being open hooks, which is perfect for hiking. And they also actually kind of a little bit lock in place. So really, really good. Skechers did a great job here with the lacing system. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, outsole traction and stability. Now, whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces, starting from the older asphalt, then the newer tarmac, then wet sand, wet grass, dry grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, rubber, marble tile, and then the rock wool in my house. Holy cow, that's a lot of stuff. And let me tell you guys, fantastic outsole. Wow, Skechers did a really, really good job. I mean, this is really good. I do wish it was a little bit of a better quality rubber, a little bit tougher, a little bit harder. Not the, as you can see, you see this this bend here, this kind of stuff. Especially whenever you're running. Now, you're walking, you're not going to feel that much of balance, but whenever you're running, you do feel that little bit of wobbliness because the rubber is soft. And that's the importance of having a very tough, hard rubber that just outsole, just that little layer of outsole, not the midsole, just the outsole. Tough rubber so that you have a very, very good stability. But design-wise, this is as good as it gets. Excellent balance between flatness and aggression. These grooves are very, very aggressive, so it handles very well pretty much on everything, really. Let's move on to the criteria number 5 real quick here, temperature, and I'll keep the outsole up here because I did not mention the ice and the snow. This is not a winter boot, so I'm not really going to talk about the snow and ice. Now, this is going to be okay on snow. On ice, of course, it's going to be slippery, just like literally everything else, unless it's a specifically ice boot. Alright, keep that in mind. But it's still not a winter boot. It's not insulated. It's waterproof, so if you implement some insulated socks, you can get away with some colder temperatures. But still, if you want a winter boot, go with a winter boot. But everything else, you know, I would say it's a very solid 3-season boot. Let's move on to the criteria number 6 real quick, the sizing. Now, they are true to the size. Get yourself half a size bigger though, so you have a little bit of extra space in the toe box. You do want it because, like I said, there is no padding from the inside, and even if there is padding from the inside, you still want to have a little bit of extra space for hiking boot, for work boot, for tactical boot. Just a good little trick to make a comfort level better than what it is. Alright, let's move on to the criteria number 7 now. Balance of application. So if this really were your ultimate survival boot, would they be good? Would they contribute to your survival, or would they get you killed? Well, I think honestly this is a great option. Outsole is fantastic. It's flexible. As you can see, it's very, very flexible actually. Inner sole is fantastic. Waterproofing is good. The lacing system is awesome. I mean, and it even looks pretty good. Honestly, I don't even talk about the design usually on my channel because I think it's very personal. But to me, this is a very good looking boot. So I think Skechers nailed it. But it gets even better because we're getting into the price. The criteria number 8, the price. $67.99. on Amazon. The link is in the description below. I mean, guys, for 67 bucks, it really is hard to beat this. I mean, if we're talking in the hundreds, yeah, of course, there's a lot of serious competition, but $67, this is really, really tough to beat. And I mean, I would say the only things that can compare, maybe Columbia, a few things, maybe Timberland. I don't know, Timberland, no, I think Timberland more is in the 80s and 90s. 67, wow, yeah, it's pretty tough. So Skechers, they take it over by offering these good prices. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this boot? What do you think about this review? Would you consider this boot as your ultimate survival boot? Would you consider it as your hiking boot? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below, and I'll try to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear, and I'll see you guys in the next video.